XRP holders, welcome back to the Crypto ZX channel. And just like that, we are in the month of July. The second half of the year has started. As we know, we're excited. The price is looking really good. Bitcoin is looking really good. A lot of things happening. And hope, this second half is, really good for you guys, aside from crypto as well. But let's take a look at what's happening with the markets as of course we are entering July. So if we're looking across the board, we actually did see a little bit of a retracement. We're going to go into detail as to why that's the case. XRP right now is currently sitting at $2.22. Regardless of a retracement or not, the price of XRP is holding better than majority of the coins. Also up 3% in Bitcoin compared to now. If you're looking at the market cap, 131.1 billion, and the 24-hour trading volume is at about 3.6 billion dollars. Just crazy to think about. But before we get into any further, as always, just a quick disclaimer: anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. So Bitcoin makes history with its highest monthly close of all time. Now I want you guys to backtrack. Last month also Bitcoin has done the same thing, so it really gives us a better understanding as to where Bitcoin really is and how far Bitcoin has really come. And we spoke about yesterday how the amount of Bitcoins that are being mined right now, that's nothing compared to the demand that there is right now. So that really shows us where this asset class is really going. And on top of that, take a look at this. Now compared to gold, remember, Bitcoin is labeled as the digital gold. Flows into gold is about 0.95 billion per day. Flows into Bitcoin is at about 1.17 billion a day, outpacing gold itself. Remember, gold is the largest asset in the world. It's the largest asset. And if you want to compare to Bitcoin, it's literally, I think, more than 10 times the value of BTC in terms of market cap, and it's continuing to climb as far as gold is concerned. So why do you think all these entities are coming on board and obviously taking a look at Bitcoin? Because they understand the scarcity that Bitcoin has. Once the 21 million Bitcoins are done, then that's it. There's no more BTC. It's simple as that. And there's only about 1.5 million Bitcoin left to mine. And as I've stated to you guys before, the demand is already outweighing the supply, which of course, sums up pretty much, what we're seeing in terms of even the price. It speaks for itself. But this is something very, very interesting and really shows you where the big money is really coming. And moving forward, take a look at this. Crypto Michael says this. So Crypto Michael, back in September 18, 2022, said this, I put my money where my mouth is and bought another $150,000 worth of XRP at 33 cents. So, these are people, and again, of course, this is someone that probably has a lot of funds. $150,000 by no means is a small amount. That is a very, very large amount. But the XRP, the people that truly believe in this asset have been accumulating day in, day out over the course of the last few years. And then now they're really, getting, the flowers that they deserve, for holding, with all that patience. And now majority of the people that, come and say negative comments regarding XRP or any digital asset, are the ones that just come on board and are expecting life-changing gains overnight. That's not how it happens. Simple as that. XRP, I've literally said every single update of mine, the way it has held since November breakout is something that a lot of people overlook, but you need to study that chart and cannot ignore that. So pretty much Crypto Michael has come out and said this: I told you to buy XRP at 30 cents. This might be our last chance to buy XRP before the next parabolic rally, pretty much kind of summing that, the next phase could start. I've publicly called every major XRP move. Doubt me at your own risk. At the end of the day, this is his personal opinion. But as far as the price of XRP is concerned, it has been in this accumulation zone, and we nailed the target at that $2.32. I spoke to you guys about how that would be that next target. Believe it or not, just yesterday we retested that, and I'm sure if you watch my other XRP updates, you guys know about that. But we got stopped at that exact same resistance, and again, more confirmation for us as to how important that range really is. But the fact that we closed the monthly candle at $2.26 is a very, very bullish sign, and I am projecting the breakout is imminent into the 23.6 sooner than a lot of people realize. And moving forward, take a look at this. FedNow. A lot of people obviously get confused about FedNow, and of course Ripple and FedNow are not partners. That's something I want you guys to be clear upon. But they are somewhat connected. So pretty much, of course, there's companies, corporations around the globe that are using the FedNow system. And some of these same companies are also using Ripple and platforms and Ripple services. So this is where the interconnection comes into play, and this is where you need to pay attention. Look at this. Service provider plugins. Take a look at this. Volpay, ACI Worldwide, Uphold, ESCFin. So these are things that you overlook, but no, these are not the things we want to be overlooking. And I continue to try to remind you guys this, but take a look at this triangular gross footprint in Africa with 5 new countries. So expand networks across Africa in 5 countries: Gabon, Chad, Central Africa Republic, Congo, and Sierra Leone. Ripple payments, XRP. And last but not least, take a look at this. XRP, just a friendly reminder, even after a reset of the market sentiment in 2025, XRP is still trading above $2. Thank you. Some people understand this. That's impressive. Both institutions and retail investors are not showing any signs of selling behavior. The phrase "this time is different" genuinely fits. And I could not agree more with the statement about both institutions and retail investors are not showing any signs of selling. Reason why I say that, and this is Google Trends by the way. So look at this: in 2017 bull market top, 2021, and of course 2025, we're still trading near all-time highs even after a reset. You could not have put this in better ways. This is pretty much someone that's summing up my words that I say every single update. The way it has held, we have seen multiple different coins retesting bear market levels. Some are sitting in the 78.6 or even below. And yet the XRP price went at the latest into the 61.8, and that was briefly. And that's something I don't want you guys to be neglecting by any means. So if you're looking at the dominance, it is picking up right now. This is from my previous updates. You are starting to see the dominance pick up. We were sitting at about 65%, and right now we're sitting at about 65.4%. That is an increase. If you're looking at BTC right now, Bitcoin is currently sitting at $107,000. We retested 106,800 support line. We got supported by that range, and we're picking up right now. Of course, we just entered a brand new month, so we're seeing a little bit of choppy levels, of course, as to be expected, but the price of XRP is holding really, really nicely, and I'm still projecting this wick that we just saw a few hours ago being filled. I am personally still thinking that we will see this price being retested once again, and hopefully this time around we see that close, which will pretty much open the door to head towards that $2.60. Simple as that. That's how I'm currently taking a look at it. And of course, once we enter that could really push the price towards all-time highs, and that's what people want to see. But we got to take it one step at a time. Do let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. If you have not subscribed, what are you waiting for? We'll see you later in Crypto ZX, and peace out.